Hi, it's Kit. On my other YouTube channel, I was called Gigi, and I published a book back in 2016, and I had to use the name Gigi because my siblings said if you use your real name or our real names, we're going to sue you. So let's talk about what's going to happen with Project 2025. First of all, if our Medicare, Medicaid change, doctors will probably have less doctors in our country because they won't be able to get the money that they want to get. I do say that there's corruption in Medicare Advantage plans. My mother one time went to get her hearing aids tested for only 10 minutes and they charged her health insurance $800 for 10 minutes. That's uncalled for. These doctors and Advantage plans are taking advantage of senior citizens. I always believed that original Medicare, because when you get older, you lose your eyesight, you lose your hearing, and your teeth. That should all be included in original Medicare. Wipe out Advantage plans. Even though, like, I was on an Advantage plan with the United Healthcare Dual Plan, and it had dental health care. But that year, they didn't want to pay for any work. But then the following year, they said they would. It's a bait and scam. And who's making the money? They are. So it's going to really hurt doctors, these changes with the health insurance, Social Security. There are a lot of older women that depend on Social Security as their lifeline. And, if that changes, there's going to be a lot of house foreclosures as they still have a mortgage or they'll be out in the street. They won't be able to pay rent, mortgage, or any bills. They'll be homeless. And the baby boomer population and the population next to it is getting higher. And these are things that will happen. Um, there's already, like many places have shut down and consolidated their businesses like CVS, Walgreens, even churches. In the last couple of months, 9 churches in the Maryland area closed down because, number one, their congregations were not large anymore and they didn't have the money to repair old churches. It's rather sad, folks. So we have doctors losing their jobs. We have seniors becoming homeless. We have seniors in nursing homes that depend on Medicaid and Medicare. Sadie, sorry, Sadie. She's a good watchdog. And where will they go? Who would take care of them? And then with, Biden put a cap on a diabetic medication, and Trump turned around and took it off. I don't know why this man has so much hate for what is good. I mean, so much hate for what is good. Where is the humanitarian integrity in this individual? And then to bring along, he only brought along Elon Musk because he has money to help him. The Trump's always okay. He's spending our money, but he knows how to make it and then spend it. It's all materialism. Do you honestly think that that man has any spirituality in him with his soul? Like, what was his soul contract when he came down here? Like, to be a bully? to go the way that he's going. Yeah, we all have choices, and he still has time to change if he wants to. But a lot of people, banks will close. Let's get back to what's going to happen. Banks will close, probably go bankrupt. Your 401k plans will crush because of the stock market. Yeah, you're going to lose a lot of money. Food banks, um, that's going to be a rarity. Plus, one food bank I know of gets uh, food cans of fruits and vegetables with China, which are more poisoning to people that need to eat. So, better start growing your own gardens and making your own vegetable. Like, I feel like sitting up uh, uh, plant lights in my basement with, above, like, I guess, boxes off the floor of different vegetables and stuff and growing stuff myself, or having a what is it, farm fresh uh, fish, that I grow, raise for myself. Because, yeah, and you all bitch about eggs being $18 a dozen. Like, what the hell's that? Bird flu's going around, and measles is going around. Let's see how many diseases go around. Like, let's really get with it. And so it's going to affect a lot of people. Children that depend on the food program in schools and in their homes will not be able to eat maybe one meal a day. God, I feel like I'm having a flashback of not Auschwitz, but the Jewish home settlements that were fenced off, and they had no way out of their communities, that they had to break furniture to keep themselves warm, and they had to go beg for food or find food somehow. I feel I feel like what the hell is going on? This is 2025. The golden age of Donald Trump, you know, he has a choice. Jesus warned, life is short. You have a soul in this caged body of yours, no matter what it is, how we suffer physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever. But spiritually, we have the kingdom of heaven within us. We can see God and Jesus just from me sitting here and afterwards meditating to the man upstairs, not to a human man, because no human man can solve this problem. I don't want to say it's all going to get worse. It's a bit depends on the whole nation. The the devil loves all this fighting and arguing and bickering. They just love it, but it's not going to help. It's not going to help. And if you notice, when we had that hurricane in North Carolina, that Ash, well, Asheville or whatever town that was all underwater. It didn't matter what background you were. People were helping each other. FEMA was in there. But guess what? Trump didn't like that. So what did he have to say? He had to say negative things about FEMA. These are just people that volunteer in that organization to help other people. The other day I had the Baltimore Gas and Electric guy out here at my house, making sure my gas and I won't explode. And I said, I want to thank you guys for driving all the way down to North Carolina or Florida and helping those states when they were out of power. And he said, thank you. That's how people work and help each other. Like Jesus might say, Father, make another storm so people come together. and help each other and forget the sides they're on, forget their genders and this and that. But you help each other. That comes with humanity. That comes with compassion for each other. Where did it go? All this this country's a materialistic hellhole of ignorance, and it's blinded. It's blinded by darkness, and all these things that will happen. Canada said, "Let's attack the red states in America." The red states. Those people, you know, they were seeking hope from Donald's words, but they were in denial of the truth. They were looking for hope in the wrong place. If they only prayed and prayed the correct way, not in some places like mass auditoriums where false people like Joel Austin are making millions off of people and giving them false hope and faith and not even talking about Jesus. And then all this singing in churches that uprise and lift people for a short period of time. It's like not a comedy show, but it's entertainment. But Jesus says, but they never talked about me. They never talked about me. So all these things that are going to happen. And God, I pray, I seriously pray. I mean, I started going to a church that was 100 years old, a beautiful old church. And I was there the day they put the ribbon on the door to close it down because not enough people were coming there. And I liked one friar that came from Africa, Kenya. But then today I got thinking about the things that he was saying in church because he went to another church where all of us in one congregation had to pack into this other church. And it was like he was just saying things to calm us down and control us. And at the same time, they were asking for money, like two baskets going around. This is a Catholic church. In fact, one day when I left that older church, 100-year-old church, because I got sick of the sermon from one guy, just always talking about money and not about Jesus, I got up and I went to a church where I always used to go with my first husband. And I waited an hour and then went in there, and it was the same thing talking about money. And I'm like, so I went online to look at the Vatican, and oh my God, they got billions of dollars in the stock market. But when you go to your church and they say, oh, you can ask your church for a little bit of money, your church says, we're sorry, we can't do that. And then when the church sets up bankruptcy law of 11 or 7 or whatever it is, so the children that are adults now that were raped by priests, they can say, well, we have a bankruptcy and they can't sue us. Uh, our life, it's just like, let's just put this whole page in the dark. Where's the light? You know, I'll tell you one thing. There's a lot of secrets out there the government is not going to tell you. And there's a lot of governments in Europe that the presidents know things than we do. And they're not going to tell us. Do you think that the Russian people enjoy having Putin as a leader again? He's not a democratic president. He's a dictator, fascist KGB guy. When they had elections, it was they went. It was like going to the guillotine. Um, their votes didn't matter, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. Russian people are like any other people. They want their freedoms. They want to be able to do that what they want to do. They're suffering so much under this dictatorship, and our president admires that. I can't understand how any of Trump's wives could have had sex with him and loved that man. I I can't see it. I know Melania has a prenup. I would love to see that prenup of hers. And I hope Barron is being raised differently and seeing, you know, what his father really is. It's like I can visualize, well, Satan, Lucifer, really didn't have horns on his head. He was Lucifer in heaven, and he was a very beautiful angel. So when he was cast down here to earth with his fallen angels, now he doesn't look like that, but he's got all these little darkness demons out there spewing crap to people where they believe it. It's all over the news, it's all over social media, it's affected everybody. Excuse me. So, what did Jesus say on the cross? Forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they do. Man is ignorant and he needs to wake up. You need to gather in your basement, in your bedrooms, wherever, with a couple friends. Open up the New Testament, read Jesus' scripts, read Mary Magdalene, read Thomas's, read Enoch too, because the Bible is just a book. God didn't write it. The first half came from the what is it? Tur, the Quran. Hold on a minute. The first Bible. Um, no, the first part of the Bible comes from Quran. I'll find this on the web. The Old Testament. My battery is 10%. So the what is it? The Torah or the Quran? I mean, it's all about Moses and the families and everything like that. Um, I I can't get into any of that. I just focus on Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene and some of the disciples that preached according to Jesus. I mean, those are the most important things. The church, sorry, I had the door open. Church has, not the church, but Emperor Constantine, okay, in the 300 ADs, and then before he died, there were only 21 books put into the Bible, so, you know, I'm not, God didn't put that Bible together. It was all written by man. It was all written by man, but I'm not going to argue about that. That you have to study archaeology, you have to study the Hebrew archaeologists, scholars. They know. And you have to go back to civilizations before Jesus came as the Messiah. You have to go back and see everything that's going on. But I, I do want to say about civilizations. In every civilization, man was used as slaves. Seriously, look at everything. They were dominated, controlled, and used as slaves. What's happening to our country? You think you're free? Seriously? Wake up and smell the roses and smell the truth. Stop believing the lies. Even the fact checks, when I fact check them, they're just lying. And Mark Zuckerberg, he sent something like someone on Facebook thought I was going to kill myself or something. And they sent me something like, "Are you suicidal or whatever?" And all I wrote is like half the country is depressed, and this is really bad of Donald Trump and Elon Musk, what they're doing. And I got that message for the first time in 20 years, whatever, when Facebook started. So maybe 2010. I don't know. I don't remember. But no, I'm not going to kill myself. Why would I uh, go in torment of hell and then run into Hitler and Trump and Elon Musk and all these other evil people who abandoned their people for materialism instead of humanity? Well, you take care. It's something to think about. But in the meantime, if you're spiritual, start meditating. Start meditating at night. God and Jesus, through the mind, hears our prayers, and He needs a lot of prayers. And that little guy here, that little guy was supposed to go in the grave of two of my cats that passed away years ago. But I kept him inside that little chair. But, I don't pray to the chair. You know, we have a direct link to the man. Watch the passion of Christ, of Jesus being put on the cross, and think about your life, what he died for. Have a good day.